Hello to all you miniatures lovers on the interwebs. I'm Doc Eon. It's Monday, the 31st of January 2022. And I've sort of failed in my mission this week because you're not looking at any completed minis. I have, in fact, completed exactly 0 minis since last week. A lot of these are very close to completion. Some of these are like 90% done, but I just haven't gotten over the finish line with any of them. But I've sort of been futzing around with a ton of minis at once instead of focusing on a few, and that sometimes happens. Anyway, like I said, these things happen, but as you can see, possibly see if you've a good memory since last week, you can see I've not been completely idle. It's just other stuff has gotten in the way, work mostly. But I think most of what you're looking at right now on my work table is going to be done by next week, because it's just pushing it over to the finish line, so to speak. And yeah, not much else I can say. All of this is Reaper stuff. Some of it is bones, some is old bones, some of it is new bones black, some is metal. These 4 in the back here, I think, are the only metal ones out of the current batch. You're going to see more in a minute, or in a few seconds actually. But yeah, this is what I'm working on at the moment. And let's go over to the next stage. So this is the last stuff prepped out of the latest Reaper order that arrived for me. It's all pirates or pirate themed stuff. I don't know, the cannon might be something used in some other context as well. I made a sort of wood planking base for it. It's a little uneven, but oh well. Now, all these 3 are based in slightly different ways. So with this guy, I thought the provided base was good enough. I would have liked it to be a little bit larger, but it's reasonably thick, it's metal. He's probably going to stand up fine. This one came with a tab for a slaughter base, which I cut away and instead just used portions of it as pins to pin her to a base that has a green stuff topper applied to it. And with this I did something in between. He had a sort of plank base that he was standing on, but I thought it wasn't quite large enough. I needed a little bit more, so I put him on a plastic base and then I added some green stuff and I textured that a little bit to make it sort of blend in. It doesn't quite blend in, but if you don't look too closely at it, it's okay. Finally, this Minotaur guy I just put on a base where I added a lot of basing grit to sort of, there's a line there you can sort of see, which is not good, but I'll hide that with some other texture. The thing with this guy was that the fit of the arms was not great. You can see a bit of green. There's quite a lot of green stuff here to fill in the rather enormous gaps. But I think once I tried to texture it so it looks sort of like folds in the jacket, or the coat rather. Hopefully once paint is put on it, you won't think about the transition. This is a pretty hefty chunk of metal. And no, yeah, I think these are pretty dry now. Their next stage is to actually prime them. And we'll see if you see a bit of paint on them by next week. And some new stuff has arrived. We have a shipment from Reaper. Here. Bunch of stuff. Let's see what it is. We have a pirate, Captain Fairweather. We have another sort of pirate figure from the Blood Wolves. What's this? Oh, and another. This is also named Fairweather, so it's probably supposed to be the same character, different version. Another Replicon model from the River Widows, which is probably a pirate. This one looks really large compared to the others. Is it a giant or like a Goliath, perhaps? I'll have to say that. We have Cave Girls. This is all the pirates are for my pirate theme, for my seafaring campaign that I've started running right now. They haven't gotten to sea actually. We've run 2 sessions. They're still investigating a house, but they're gonna find some smugglers, and that will lead them to the pirate ring, so to speak, the band of pirates. Anyway, the Cave Girls are for the sort of Lost World theme idea that I also have for a future campaign. That might, you know, it might fold into this campaign. They might run across the Lost Island at some point. Oh, and I got 2 packs of the Cave Girls, because why not? What's this? Here we have just some random character mini. This is called a Huntress. I think this is a tiefling. She's got a tail, at least. Sort of a tiefling bounty hunter, I suppose. We have civilians. That's another theme. I'm buying like villagers and townsfolks. This is a blacksmith, just standing at an anvil. It's an elven female blacksmith. We have townsfolk, kids too. So I've already painted the first kids one. These are sort of old children or young teenagers. In kind of they have these really big heads. They're disproportionately sculpted, and it's a small series that Reaper made. There's 2 packs of it. There's another. First pack is also 2 different kids. I painted those previously. And anyway, then we come to the bonus minis that I got with this shipment. A gnoll and a really old gnarly bones mini, an evil warrior. There were no good choices this month. This is actually my shipment from January, so it's arriving the same month. And it's leapfrogging past previous orders. My October and November orders are still on their way. I do have tracking on them right now, so they are close to arriving, and the lost packages are returning, so to speak. What do I want to paint out of this? Well, I don't know. I'll start like half of these, I think, for next week, because I'm working up a backlog again. So I can't paint everything, but I'll probably, you know, prioritizing the pirates and the civilians, because that's the sort of stuff I can actually use currently in what I'm playing, and put the others to one side for now. But yeah, that was this week's episode. Please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe if you haven't done so before, comment, and be back here a week from today on the same day of the week, the same channel with the same donkey on. But for now, I'm signing off.